Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Matzek, and I'm the host of the Breaking Silences Advocacy Committee and the Education and Advocacy Specialist with the Access Center for Independent Living in Dayton, Ohio. We're honored to have been selected to receive the Lend Your Voice Healthcare for All Award. Thank you so much for this recognition. This accomplishment is a collaborative effort between disability advocates, groups, organizations, and agencies across Ohio. I would like to take this opportunity to recognize the following individuals and organizations for collaborating with us to make the work that we do possible. Disability advocates and activists across Ohio, the Breaking Silences Community Collective, the Access Center for Independent Living, Ohio Centers for Independent Living, the Ohio Olmsted Task Force, Disability Rights Ohio, the Ohio Disability and Health Program at the Nisauger Center, and last but not least, Steve Wagner and the staff of UHCAN, Ohio. Collectively, we have coordinated disability rights advocates across Ohio, created and conducted Ohio's only COVID-19 unmet needs survey focused entirely on individuals with disabilities, collaborated on presentations such as emergency preparedness needs for individuals with disabilities, healthcare barriers for individuals with disabilities, etc. Ongoing discussions with the directors of the Ohio Department of Medicaid, Developmental Disabilities, Aging, and Mental Health and Addiction Services. Collaborated with many statewide advocacy groups. All of our meetings have live CPrint captioning and are recorded. Most meetings with guest presenters have ASL interpreters, which are streaming live. The Breaking Silences Advocacy Committee was initially created in response to the COVID pandemic and the lack of emergency preparedness for individuals with disabilities. We started meeting in April of 2020 at the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic and focused our efforts on bringing together community partners to respond to this pandemic to better prepare and plan for future events. In a response to the need for advocacy during and after this pandemic, we created the Breaking Silences Advocacy Committee. This committee has solely focused on issues pertaining to individuals with disabilities within our communities, especially those individuals who have been impacted most by the lack of planning and preparedness around the COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to introduce Lauren Griffin, who is one of our committee participants.
The committee is an extension of the Breaking Silences community collective, but has maintained one main goal: to create an active space for advocates to work together to develop and create community awareness and change in the communities that we live, work, and participate in. The Breaking Silence Advocacy Committee gives voice to those who are active advocates, but more importantly, to those who have no voice. Participants believe that we have a responsibility to work to fix this system, a broken system, and to advocate for all individuals who are members of a vast and diverse disability community. We hold true to the statement, nothing about us without us. The goal of this committee is to establish relationships with local and state officials, as well as partnering with community organizations. The committee was formed to ensure that members of our disability community obtain and maintain a place among those who will make decisions that impact our lives. The work that our committee does offers a place for support and collaboration within the disability community. We strongly believe that every voice is important, but a collective voice brings everyone together. The committee has taken action, not just to talk about the issue, but effectively demand change for the disability community.
20 years ago, the Ohio Department of Medicaid, at the time it was called the Ohio Department of Health and Human Services, threatened Ohioans with disabilities by saying that if we did not accept their proposed rules that were substandard and did not reflect the needs of individuals with disabilities, that we would not get any home and community-based program. Many of us were outraged. During the Ohio Joint Commission on Agency Rule Review hearings, the room was packed, standing room only. I testified in disgrace of their proposed rules and of their threat, and I presented to them with a large jar of Vaseline served on top of a copy of their rules. That took everyone back to the table to come up with something that everyone could agree on. This is just an afterthought, and does not need to stay. Now I would like to introduce Jennifer Kachera. She is a member of our Breaking Silences Advocacy Committee.
The Breaking Silences Advocacy Committee will continue to ensure that civil rights are provided to all individuals. We strongly believe that knowledge is power, and that through knowledge, a person can achieve any of their goals. We will continue to collaborate with community partners to work on issues such as the direct care workforce crisis by advocating for equitable funding and services that reflect the dignity and value of this profession. Member and stakeholder inclusion for open and public meetings, compliance with accommodations as mandated by the Americans with Disabilities Act, emergency preparedness plans that include and reflect the needs of individuals with disabilities. Bureaucratic restrictions that handicap individuals and create unnecessary barriers for individuals to secure their basic needs like food, shelter, and healthcare. Respect and transparency between state agencies and the individuals who they are paid to serve, and to continue to be a voice with and for the community of people with disabilities. People with disabilities are resilient individuals with a passion for life and a drive to succeed. Most non-disabled individuals will never and could never endure the oppression, segregation, discrimination, humiliation, ignorance, and pain that individuals with disabilities face throughout their entire lives. We are constantly having to prove our worth and value to a society that only values wealth, beauty, and success. It is time that society stop painting a picture of us as an inferior community. It is time to fight like our life is in danger, because it is. Lastly, we want to dedicate this award to our community members who are incarcerated in facilities or are facing forced incarceration because the system has failed them. We want to know that we will never stop fighting until all individuals with disabilities have the same opportunities to shine and be seen for their value and contribution to society. We will not stop fighting until every person with a disability has the same freedoms as non-disabled individuals. We will not stop, and we are not going away. In fact, we are getting stronger, and we will continue to build our army of advocates and spread our message, nothing about us without us. We invite you to join us and be part of a community that works together to demand equal rights for all citizens. Remember, the disability culture is the only culture that anyone can enter at any time.